Oh, yeah.
I'll never get tired of that. What's up, Gear Mortals? Trey, Xavier here. On today's edition of Gear Gods Quality Control, we're going to be comparing the classic Tube Screamer in mini form with the Tube Screamer new tube and the brand new Vemuram Ibanez Tube Screamer, Ibanez and Vemuram Ray TS808 mishmash combination Tube Screamer of doom. And joining me today is the one and only Mr. Fastfinger, MIKA. God, I can't say your last name. Why don't you tell me?
It's Tyyskä.
MIKA TYYSKÄ.
Yeah, good.
Also known as Mr. Fastfinger, as you can see on the headstock of his Rokangas.
Rokangas. Perfect.
You may know him from his YouTube channel, your animated
Yeah,
self.
The Mr. Fastfinger is not me, but it's the imaginary friend, this cartoon guitar player who debuted about in 2005 already.
Wow.
I created this. There was this technology called Flash. It was like a game, like a guitar adventure place where you would learn all these crazy guitar licks from this cartoon guitar player. That was kind of like the debut of Fastfinger.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just wanted to create music for this cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's coming the fourth album, and we have a live band doing this in Finland. And yeah, it's that Fastfinger dude is kind of like the channel for a lot of the things that I like to do.
Gotcha. Well, basically what I'm going to have you do is to do your thing, and we're going to just try and hear the differences between these three pedals. We're going to set them to about the same settings. I've got them pretty much volume matched, and we're going to see how they sound different from each other, really. Everybody knows what a Tube Screamer sounds like. The classic TS808, it's really mid-forward, mid-focused, mid-boost.
Yep. People
use it to boost and sort of tighten up and smooth out their high-gain amps. The new Tube Screamer with an NU is basically the Tube Screamer with this new tube technology in it. I haven't tried it yet. I have no idea what it sounds like differently.
Same
but
here.
It's got basically a blend knob on it so that we can hear it with and without
Is it the
tube in it.
direct single?
I'm not really sure.
Maybe we'll
I probably
find
should
out.
look it up before we start doing that. But then we've got the Vemuram, which is a combination of the TS808 and the Ray drive from Vemuram. And this is like it's supposed to be more full range. Like not this like little mid hump. It's a full range drive, so it doesn't give you that huge mid hump. It's a little more subtle in that sense. It's more full frequency. But I guess we're gonna find out exactly what that is. So we're gonna do two different comparisons. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do it with these as the drive. We're going into the Rev D20, which is a super clean pedal platform amp. Why don't you play a little bit so that they can hear what it sounds like with no drive in front of it.
So
it sounds nice, but it's a little wimpy with no gain. Yeah. But it's clean, super clean, which is nice.
Yeah, well,
it's nice. It's very polite.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try it with these with the drive up.
All the way.
So the drive tone is coming from here. All the distortion will be coming from here, and then we'll try them as they're normally used, which is as a boost in front of a high gain amp, and we'll try a different amp for that. Cool, so you play the riff, and I'm just gonna go between the three different pedals. Right now we're gonna have the drive just all the way up, because they don't really have a ton of gain. It's not really necessarily about that. Yeah. But it's still, it's a bit. This is the Tube Screamer Mini. pretty different, right? Like
Yeah.
this one has noticeably more low end.
But this has some kind of mini screw that you can.
Yeah. This has
adjust the
has
bass.
a secret, a couple of secrets. It's got both a saturation and a bass knob on the back, so you can make it a little bit more like a tightener kind of a thing for your amp if you're using it for high gain. So we have a little screwdriver, so we can actually try
one.
that out. We'll try the bass first. Yeah, you could definitely hear it changes up the bass
Yep.
response. And
Kind of like beefy kind of.
yeah,
bass.
depending on the
Saturation.
amp you've got, the kind of tone you're going for, you know. And then we've got this saturation control. I'll start all the way down. So keep doing the same thing, chunk away. It's kind of subtle.
It's very subtle.
Doesn't seem to do a whole hell of a lot, but maybe we're doing something wrong.
Maybe we're just wrong.
All right, according to the website, the saturation trim pot, if you set it at noon, it equals the maximum gain of the original Tube Screamer, the TS-808. So if we turn it all the way up, then we're getting more gain than the original Tube Screamer had.
Yeah, maybe should I play something that kind of might show that better off?
Yeah. I can hear it.
It's definitely, yeah.
You can hear it. You can hear it in the hum in the single coil
Well,
pick
at least, yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah, there's something that really makes these pickups.
Play that same thing, and we'll try it with.
The
we'll
riff
try a
part-
lot.
the riff-
No, we'll try a little bit of lead with using these as the drive pedal. Ready?
Yeah.
Which one are you liking so far the most?
With this setup, maybe this one.
Yeah.
I have this one in my own pedal board. One of the reasons is that there's so little space.
Yeah.
It's a great for that little space. This one with the tweakable low end it's a great thing for matching it to work with your whole rig. In general, I think this one is a great overall booster for a tube amplifier. I'm really happy with it. It just enhances the kind of things that I want a booster to do.
Yeah. I like a ton of mid-range. This one's nice and like it's honky in a way that I like. This one sounds really nice. It's got a lot of low end and stuff. I guess I could turn the bass down a bit and it would probably do what I want.
Yeah,
But I guess we're about to find out because right now we're gonna try plugging it into a high gain amp and using them all as
yeah.
boosters, which is kind of how people generally tend to use them. I don't know if that's how they were initially intended to be used when it first came out.
That's how I always thought it was the original idea, that it is a booster.
Yeah.
To tube screamer, kind of like boosting a tube
Yeah.
amplifier, because it never had a tube.
Right. All right, so now we've got the Angle Invader going. So why don't you play a little bit for us just to hear what the sound of the amp sounds like by itself?
Yeah, the same riff again.
Same riff. Cool.
Yep.
Sounds really good, but we've got the gain set pretty low, so we're gonna see what it'll be like to boost it with each of these. I'm gonna set the drive all the way down,
Yep.
and then
Good
crank the output I'll leave the tone at noon for the moment. So I've got the level set all the way up on each of these. So we're boosting the output, so it's hitting the front of the amp harder. I've got the overdrive all the way down and the tone at noon. So play as that riff one more time, and we will test them out against each other. Okay. Cool.
More? No?
Not like night and day different, but it's kind of the same thing. This one just has more fullness to it. Like, if you're used to using a regular tube screamer and you don't really like that it cuts out a ton of the bass and a bit of the high end, then this might for sure be the jam for you, because it just maintains your fullness of your signal going into the either as a overdrive or as just a boost. I think kind of the advantage of the new tube, I mean, it sounds, I guess, slightly different, but really it's this mix of the clean and the overdriven signal. You can blend it in at whatever blend sounds best to you. Here, play that one more time. I'm going to play with adding in the driven signal and the clean signal together.
Okay. Same riff.
Same riff. These two are definitely more flexible than this guy. But, this is like a real purpose-driven thing. These just have more options. This is the classic tone.
This is as I understand. This is kind of as close to the classic one as a concept and tone as it can be in small size.
Yeah.
And these are the modern ones
versions.
With more variation.
Now, this one is a lot more expensive.
Yep.
It's looking like it's going to be almost 500. I think it said 500 euros. It'll probably be about $500 in the States. I don't really know exactly, but obviously these are I think this one's 100 or 120 or something. If you're not trying to spend a whole ton of money, I actually like this the best so far. But that's because it's suited for what I do. This one is for different kinds of music, I think, than chunky metal, like is what I play most of the time. But it can also do that. So hopefully you guys got an idea of the differences between these pedals and what they're all for and what you would do with them. Well, Mika, thank you so much for joining me. This was really fun. If you want to see this guy rip harder than anyone who has ever ripped on the planet, go subscribe to his channel. I'll put a little boop. It's probably floating on the screen right now. What is your album and when is it coming out? October.
October was it 12th?
What's it called?
It's called Mountain Tone.
Mountain Tone.
Yeah. It's actually my MIKA TYYSKÄ and Mr. Fastfinger's first kind of like collaboration album.
Oh, wow.
It's under our both names. So if you go to Spotify or somewhere or YouTube, you will find it with both our names.
Great. So they can search either one.
It's easy to find.
If you haven't already, mash that subscribe button and smack the bell for more reviews and original content. And we'll see you real soon.